at how we can preserve our money and make our money work for us. And normally, honestly, people tend to go for loans. I don't understand. They do go for loans because loans give them quick money to solve their so-called problem. You are not solving your problem, you are extending it. You are extending the due date, because once you solve this one, now you have to come and solve this one of repaying people's money. And then afterwards again, what does the person do afterwards? They run to another cash loan to pay this cash loan. They pay this cash loan and probably their interest plus. So let's look at how people actually fall into these loan conundrums, right? So you take a loan from this company or cash loan, you go and pay for whatever problem that arises. You fail to pay this company on time, you run to another company, you take another loan, you pay this one fully. So obviously now you will be taking this amount that you owe here plus a little bit just to sustain you again. And then what happens is you owe this company twice as much as you owe this one, and then you repeat the same cycle again until all the companies now know you and they say, oh, this one we cannot give you anymore, you have to repay these companies that you owe. So, and then you find yourself in a financial strain. But when you started working, you had the opportunity to say, I do not want to go down that path. I can actually take my money and put it into an investment plan. After 10 years, I know within 10 years things are going to be to change. It always takes 10 years. Guys, you can argue with me on this one. You can honestly argue with me on this one. It always takes 10 years for things to change. That's why you always have 10 years for a president to finish their term, especially here in Africa. It's not even a thing of 5 years and blah blah blah. Once the president is guaranteed that they actually won the first election, prepare for them to rule for 10 years until another one comes on. So it always takes 10 years, and each president, when they come on the seat, they have their own policies that they actually implement. Now when things change now, what happens? You don't have any investment plan. You probably just started that late, and then later on you are demoralized because there are too many problems. You are not able to keep up with your investment plan, which was already supposed to be paying you dividends upon the arrival of the 10 years. So, and people are so desperate that they actually want investment plans that they only go for 1 year. Stupid! I'm sorry, but that's stupid. What if the people actually invested in real estate, which takes even more than 10 years probably to pay out the invested capital and the interest on that invested capital? What if they invested in government bonds that take 10 years to pay out at maturity? The same way you actually just take your investment is this, and say, okay, I'm going with this for 10 years. It's the same way the government actually gives bonds to these private liquidators, or I would say, okay, let me not use an expensive term. The same way you would go with 10 years of investment plans is the same way the government says, we are going to sell this bond to this company for 10 years. After 10 years, we can give them their money back plus interest. They have done this before, they keep on doing this. And I can give you a good example. The Euro bond that recently popped in, no, that was last year. The Euro bond. If you read the newspaper, you will know about it. So guys, the same way you can struggle from this level that you are, it's the same way your government can also be struggling at the same stage again when it comes to repaying those guys with the bigger money for getting money from them and investing into their economies. So what is the advantage of actually taking out your investment while you actually have started your working career? Well, number one, you have low expenses Number two, you have the ability to adapt to the condition of paying your investment first before you even look at taking out any other expenses. And thirdly, you know that by the time that you, say for instance, spend 5 years at that company that you started working, you have accumulated so much on your investment that even your interest rate has now started to pop now, right? Even your interest that you are earning has now started to come in and accumulating on top of your investment. And then the other thing also is you tend to have a much more flexible lifestyle, because now you don't even have to depend on your salary only. Even if you are fired, you know that okay, my policy is actually there to cater for that. So for the next few months that I will be looking for new work, I actually have someone to depend on, right? So what happens now if compared to somebody who actually takes out the loan? Let's say you take out the loan and you are given 5 years to pay for that. Imagine 5 years of you just losing money, for money that you probably didn't even use for anything that can return that money into your pocket, plus personal consumption. You heard me when I mentioned that first. Your personal consumption does not need a loan. You need to have an investment because you do not want to put yourself in debt. So when do you take out a loan? I know in some cases it's a must that you must take out a loan, but when do you really have to take out a loan? Number one, you take out when you want to start a venture, knowing that this venture is once it starts producing and it's successful, it's going to actually give you money to pay back the loan and also have something to put into your pocket. There are people who take out loans to bury their loved ones. Where were you when people were taking out funeral covers? There are people who take out loans just to travel for vacations. Jeez, good gracious. Are you thinking right? There are people who take out loans to buy, let's say, livestock. If it's an investment, it's understandable.